Hi everyone, and welcome to another video from Class 47 Peter, and today's video is going to be a locomotive review. Today we're looking at a model made by Hornby, as you can see, and today we're going to be having a look at the new Hornby Class J36. Now so far they've only released one of these models, which is this particular one here, number 65311 Haig, in the BR black livery with the early emblem. The other two, Maud and the one that's in the LNR black livery, will be released next year. Now this model was released last week. I bought it from Rails of Sheffield and I got it on Christmas Eve, just before Christmas Day. And so I'm now getting around to having a look at it. I haven't opened this up yet and had a look at it properly, and I haven't run it yet, but from what I've seen in the pictures, she looks stunning. I have also got Maud on pre-order as well, so that means I'll have two J36s in my collection, because I do quite like these locomotives, and you know, I just love to have two Scottish goods engines running around on the layout, because that would just look brilliant, that would, to have two Scottish engines running on the layout. And I do have plans for both locomotives as well. Okay then, so let's get on with the unboxing. So first of all, we'll take off the box sleeve. On the front you get a photograph of the model that we get. Turn it to the back, you get a drawing diagram of the model and some brief history of the J36, which you can pause and read if you want to. I won't stop you. You don't have to read it, because you can of course just do some research on this locomotive on Google, but you can pause and read the brief history on the back of the box if you want. I won't stop you from doing that. And there's the model in the packaging. She looks beautiful. So here we have the instruction manual for the J36. On the back it tells you how to fit the brake rods under the loco and the tender. Inside it talks to you about lubrication, fitting the accessories to the model, which will be fun. Also tells you about how to remove the body, the close coupling for the loco and the tender, fitting a DCC decoder and sound. So it's the usual stuff we've seen before, basically. So I'll put that to one side and I'll put it in my folder, where I keep all my instruction manuals later on. Then we slide off the plastic cover for the box, and we now get to look at the accessory pack, which we shall look at now. So in the accessory pack we get the brake rods to fit under the loco and the tender, a NEM tension lock coupling to fit on the front of the loco, should you wish to do so, some vacuum pipes and brake pipes, some fire iron holders for the tender, then we get these little bits of detail to fit on the tender buffer beam, and last but not least we have a snowplow, which I shall be fitting on this model, and this is basically removable. So at the back you got that little socket there at the back, so that it's basically designed to just simply slot into the NEM socket on the front of the loco. And you know, I'm actually really happy that this model comes with the snowplow, because it's nice to see a model on the market with a removable snowplow. Oxford Rail have also done this as well with some of their Dean goods, and it'll be interesting to see more models in the future being released with snowplows like this. And just look at all the rivet detail on the snowplow as well. So with all the detail parts looked at, we can now finish off the unboxing by undoing the box clip, and we lift the locomotive and the tender out. which you have to do it together because the tender and the loco are both connected. Then I'll put the packaging to one side, and then I'll just get out this foam rectangular cube that's been placed in between the loco and the tender. Which doesn't seem to want to budge. Oh yes, there we go, it's out. So now we can have a look at the model in closer detail. First of all, I'm going to talk about the weight, and there's a lot of weight in this model, so a lot of weight has been packed into this model, which is good. And it's important as well, because the weight is to provide the traction, so this model can pull trains. If this model doesn't have any weight, then it can't pull trains. It's as simple as that. So this model needs weight, especially for a little goods engine like this model here. So there's a lot of weight in this model, so she'll easily be able to pull trains with no trouble at all. Moving to the detail now, we have metal buffers, and they are indeed sprung, as you can see. So if you like your sprung buffers, they'll keep you happy. On the buffer beam we have a dummy coupling hook, and on the running board we have some separately fitted lamp irons. On the smokebox door we have a crisply printed BR shed code plate, which is the shed code for 64A, which was the shed code for St Margaret's on the Scottish region, because this of course was a Scottish region locomotive. On the smokebox door we have the smokebox door number plate there with the loco's running number 65311 crisply printed, a separately fitted lamp iron, and separately fitted smokebox door darts, as you can see there. We've also got a lamp iron on top of the smokebox door there, just above the handrail. We also have a separately fitted metal handrail running down alongside the boiler, running up above the smokebox door there on top, as you can see, and that looks very nice. We've also got the steam piping there just above the handrail, and that's separately fitted as well. We have a very nice chimney. We have the dome in the middle of the boiler there, and we have the safety valves on the whistle there. The whistle looks to be painted, and the safety valves look to be made out of turned brass. But I don't mind really if the whistle is not made of turned brass. At least it's there and it's painted and it looks nice regardless. We of course also have glazing in the cab windows. We have some pipe work, or rigging I suppose you could call it, running on the running plate there, which is separately fitted, and that looks stunning. We have some visible daylight under the boiler there, and just look at what you get inside there. You get some inside motion detail, which doesn't move on the model, it's just static, but I for one don't really care about that, because at least there's some detail under there, and that really does add to the detail. We have the reversing lever, as you can see. We have this separately fitted detail part fitted just above the sandbox there on the front wheel arch, and that does look stunning. We also have this little bit of detail as well, which I believe is some sort of steam piping. It's there, separately fitted and painted, and that looks really nice. We have some rivet detail on the wheel arches, which looks nice. And we also have a builder's plate there, just under the locomotive's name, Haig, which is crisply printed on the sides of the middle wheel arches, and that looks nice. We also have this separately fitted piece of detail also on the end of this wheel arch by the firebox. Not 100% certain what this detail part is there for, or what it does, but it's there, just like on the real locomotive, and like I say, it's separately fitted, and that looks really nice. We also have some nice rivet detail on the firebox. We've also got some sanding gear by the drive wheels as well as the brake blocks, and of course guard irons on the front of the loco. Moving on to the cab sides, we have separately fitted metal handrails, some nice rivet detail, and the loco's running number 65311 crisply printed there on the sides. On the cab roof we have a lot of rivet detail, as you can see there, and we also have a rolled up tarpaulin there, which is also separately fitted on the end of the cab there, and that does look really nice. Now just look at the painted cab interior detail in there, inside the cab. The regulator, the lever, the gauges, the dials, it's all painted just like the real thing, and that really is stunning. Especially when you go up to this window here and you can even see the detail there up close. So I always love to see the painted cab interior details on these models, because they really do add to the detail. Moving on to the tender now. So first of all we have on the tender frames some axle boxes, springs and some rivet detail. On the front of the tender we've got separately fitted metal handrails, and that's on both sides of the tender. On the tender buffer beam we have some rivet detail. In the faceplate of the tender we've got the handbrake there and a storage cabinet for the crew to store things inside. As per the prototype, there's no rivets on the sides of the body, it's all very nice and flush. We've also got the coal rail running on top of the tender there, and just look at that. And that is also separately fitted as well, and that just looks stunning. We have a water filler cap on the tender there, which looks nice, with a nice little bit of detail on that. And we also have some rivet detail on top of the tender as well. We also have a removable coal load, as I shall now demonstrate, and that's really easy to remove, as you've just seen. So you can fit your own coal load inside the tender if you want to, which I will do at a later date. We do have some nice rivet detail inside the tender there where the coal goes, as you can see. On the rear of the tender we have separately fitted lamp irons and a separately fitted handrail. A slim NEM tension lock coupling on the tender there, a dummy coupling hook on the buffer beam, and just like on the front of the loco, sprung metal buffers. Moving on to the livery application now, and the livery is just stunning, it really is. There's no other word for it. Very nice even coat of paint, no errors or anything we shouldn't be seeing within the paintwork on the model. The correct shade of black, and it's also evenly applied on the tender as it is on the loco, and it just really is a nice livery. And of course we also have the BR Early emblem logo crisply printed there on both sides of the tender. Then we move on to the other side of the loco, which as per the prototype there isn't too much detail differences on this side of the loco. The main difference is, and probably the only difference really with the detail, is the lack of the reversing lever on this side of the loco. Instead we have this separately piece of detail here fitted on the loco there on the side. Apart from that though, the rest of the detail is the same. Oh, and of course we don't have that steam piping running on top of the handrail there either. But apart from those things though, the rest of the detail is the same. Now we come to the running performance for the Hornby J36, and honestly this is one of the smoothest mechanisms I've ever seen in any model. And this is exactly how it should run straight from the box. There's no grinding noises, motors burning out, or anything of that nature. This model runs as it should straight from the box. And it's an absolutely beautiful runner. Now we come on to the loaded test run for the J36, and we've got a pulling a nice little local passenger train. There's only 3 coaches behind the model, but you know, this is the typical sort of train that the J36s would have pulled. And it still shows you why the weight is important, because without the weight she wouldn't be able to pull even 3 coaches. And she can manage these with ease. So overall then, well, what can I say? Well done, Hornby, you've produced yet another stunning model. I cannot fault this model at all. It really is an exquisite model. And this is a model that I would highly recommend you get. Everything about it, the absolutely smooth running mechanism, all the detail this model has, it simply is perfection. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with this model, and I cannot wait to get Maud in the new year, which I have pre-ordered, and I can't wait to get Maud running alongside Haig just here. And I shall be reviewing Maud as well in the new year, so that's something to look out for. But moving on to the score now, and you know what it's going to be. It's a score that quite often models in my reviews get. But you know, with the amount of stunning models that we receive on the market now, perhaps it's not surprising. And of course, it's going to be a 10 out of 10. It just has to be. Why shouldn't it get a 10 out of 10? This has been Class 47 Peter reviewing the brand new Hornby J36. Utterly stunning model. Do go out there and get yourself one of these. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel and do check out our other videos. And I'll see you again next time for the next video. But until then, take care and look after yourselves. And have a very happy new year.